Hey everybody, this is Maxtan. This is Candid at the Movies. Today I'm giving you a TV review of the TV series Wednesdays on Netflix. Wednesday stars Jenna Ortega, Emma Myers, Hunter Doolin, Evie Temperton, Piercy Hines White, Isaac Ornez, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Louis Gonas, Fred Emerson, also guest starring Steve Buscemi. There's a lot more people in this series. If you go look up the casting hall, it is a lot of people, and it kind of makes sense when you really watch the TV series, and that will lead me to my next point, which I'll be a little bit farther down. The showrunners for this season is Miles Miller, but the showrunner for the first season was Alfred Gona and Miles Miller. So there's some things that happened that made this very confusing and very different. And so when you have a new showrunner or when you have a showrunner that has left, sometimes things change. So let's talk about the first season. First season was a really good TV series. It really surprised a lot of people with how well it went and how well they told the story. The first story was trying to find out who the Hyde is. So that is a very mythical being, and Wednesday's job was to go through the process of identifying it and trying to stop, take down, kill, whatever word you want to use, that Hyde. And so we went through, I think it was about 8 episodes of her finding it. We have a story that started and we had a story that ended. With season 2, I didn't feel the same ideal. I didn't feel like I understood what the show was trying to tell me. As we were progressing through the season, there were so many ideals it's almost like they threw ideals against the wall and they hoped something caught. And then when they put it together, they were like, hey, this feels like this is a good series. I don't know what happened to the other showrunner, if that person left or if it was just something else that came about. But you can just tell that the direction of the show, of the series, was just very confusing. It was very hard to get connected and to stay involved because I was confused with what I was watching. So it was just very frustrating. Well, I wouldn't say frustrating. It was frustrating was a good word, trying to stay involved, especially when you have they dropped 4 episodes, took a couple weeks off, and then dropped another 4. It felt like when we came back for the second drop episode, we were watching a completely different series, and it was very funky to it didn't really jive with what was happening. The best way to describe that is episode 7 and 8. In episode 7, it felt like we finished a story, and it also felt like it should have been the season ending, but we still had a very big unresolved thing that happened. And then episode 8 happened, which resolved the series, but didn't have the same emotional weight as episode 7. It didn't feel like the Paradise TV series. If you saw Paradise, if you had not seen it, Joe did a really good review. Please go watch that. In that series, episode 7 was really strong, but it didn't actually finish the story, which is what episode 8 did. Now, that was a letdown because episode 7 was probably one of the best TV series of the year. For this one, for Wednesday, I could have went without. Both of them were really good, but I was very confused by why we were doing it back to back, because if you know regular TV watching, episode 7 is supposed to lead to episode 8. I didn't really feel like I was leading to episode 8. I felt like I ended this series. Maybe if they had moved it a little earlier and finished that story arc in episode 4, I could have seen where it would have worked. I was like, okay, I understand. Oh, we got something else going on. I can kind of be with that. Oppenheimer, the movie, did that. Like they dropped the bomb, and then there was actually a trial on the backside. For this one, it didn't feel good. Of the actors, everybody did really good. I think Jenna Ortega continued her role from the first season and did a really good job. Now, I felt like I didn't get a lot of screen time of her, and that could have been for a multitude of reasons. It could have been because she was busy. I know she did quite a few movies last year, and they may have other directions that they were trying to do. When she became a detective, that was when we had a great time with her. But everything else was I could have done without. I've been fine. All her friends, the crew, there's like Joy Sunday in there, and all that stuff. It was almost like it was noise, because it really, in all honesty, didn't matter to the big ideal that was supposed to be pushed throughout the series. And I think that's where the default was, is that the big ideal, what we were supposed to be worrying about the whole entire series, we never really truly knew. And so episode 8 was when it was there. Mr. and Mrs. Addams. I like Mr. Addams. I like what Mr. Lewis did. I think he does a great job. I like his portrayal of Mr. Addams. But Captain Jada Jones Addams, I personally didn't like it. I think she was maybe a little too emotional for my being. From the movie and the TV series, she's very stoic, and this Miss Addams had a little bit more emotion and played a little bit more modern than what I was accustomed to. Han was in there. There is even like telling you about story arcs that just continue to flow through this TV series that just doesn't have enough time to really develop. There's a story arc for Han, which I really love. Well, I'm sorry, and I really love it, but I didn't feel like it was a reward. Like I feel like they just threw it in there to help move one of the storylines along. Steve Buscemi was in there. I really appreciated Steve Buscemi. I really wish he would have been the big bad the whole entire series, but unfortunately that was not the idealist that the showrunners wanted to have for what he did and how he was there. I think he was just maybe a little too chill, but I did appreciate how well he did. And when it was time for him to be evil, he did a really, really good job. Cinematography, especially with Tim Burton directing 4 episodes, I promise you, if you're looking for vibrant colors and like very theatrical stuff, it is truly amazing. And that style continues on throughout the whole entire series. So it was really cool just to see that come on my TV screen. One of my best episodes was the first episode, which was one that he directed. It had even a little bit of animation in it. It was so beautiful. And even for my TV screen, which is not the best TV screen possible, it looked like I was watching an actual movie. And they did such a great job of just putting that out there, shooting it really well, where you're supposed to be focused at. That was done really, really, really good. And that happened across the board, where those colors continue to be vibrant, where there's good ideals that you knew what you were supposed to be looking at. Now, did you truly understand what you were supposed to be looking at? With how vibrant episode 1 was, it did feel like not only was it a table setter, but also it felt like there wasn't any story in it. It was more like this visual ideal that was trying to set everything up, but then episode 2 was completely different. We took a hard right. And one other thing that this this season did that I didn't really agree with is they brought back a lot of people from the first season. If you're trying to retell a story which was done really well again, but maybe with a slight variation, then at that point it's hard for me to take hold. The episodes that were great, episode 1 was really good. Episode 4 with Uncle Fester, played by Fred Armisen, was amazing. I think that was probably the best episode of the whole entire series. It was really fun. It was cool. It was funny. Uncle Fester distills the scene and it gives us a little bit more body to kind of work with. Episode 7 and 8, even though I did say that they didn't help the story per se, or they made me very confused. Both of those episodes really had a good arc across the board. I appreciated what they were doing and what they tried to do. There was a good resolution, but in relationship to the storyline, it just didn't flow well. What would I give it? I'll probably give it a B. The cinematography was so good that it's just hard to go lower than that because there's just so many pretty pictures. But in terms of good storytelling, especially being compared to the first one or some of the better TV that has happened this year, it's not done this well. There's too many starts and stops throughout the season, and there's a body switch that I really didn't help anything, and I don't think was worth the hassle. It wasn't worth what they were trying to do. But if you are a Tim Burton person, you like gore and you like being dark, this is very dark compared to the first one. My wife watched the first episode. She didn't make it after that because it was so gory and so dark. This is your thing. If you need something to watch some TV, this is fine. But please pack your patience because this is a little bit of work. So you're gonna have to probably write some stuff down. You may even have to take a few notes to keep track of who's doing what, when, where, and how. Overall, would I want to watch it again? Probably not. Like the first season, I would not watch it again because it was actually really good. This one, I'm not really looking forward to it. Season 3, I understand why they did season 3. They had to renew it because the end of season 2 really leads into season 3. And I'm hoping that they have a better direction for season 3. So as always, like, share, comment, and follow Pop Stars right here. Get some Pop Stars. Sleep at the Movies. Those them Wrestling Boys. Please listen to those 2 podcasts. Otherwise, I hope y'all have a great day. And I'm out.